Identity and class. I want two things: identity and class, reform and revolution. I'll just say this about exploitation and oppression. Oppression doesn't float in the air by itself. If that were true, then we couldn't overcome it. If oppression was just something that people did to each other, why? Shouldn't I just oppress you because you have red hair? I just woke up this morning and I decided I don't like blonde people. Is that really how oppression works? No. It's lashed to a set of social relations, economic relations of exploitation. Otherwise, it can't be explained. So that's point number one. The reason, what's the root of anti-black racism in the United States? Slavery. They're looking for a cheap, plentiful supply of labor to make immense profits in the New World on the basis of plantation slavery. A really good, effective way to do it, at a certain point they decided, was to import blacks from Africa and work them essentially as chain gangs on the plantations. And what? Convenient? We can use their black skin as an excuse for why they deserve to be slaves in perpetuity, and all their children too. Hey! A built-in labor force! Fantastic! And we can use racism to divide all the poor indentured whites we brought over against them. And we can even make them overseers and cops and stuff to police them and make them feel like, even though they're treated like shit, they're better off. So we kill two birds with one stone. Well, all forms of oppression have different functions and features, and I don't have time to go into it because I'm out of time. But the point is that you can't understand any form of oppression unless you understand how capitalism as a system functions and what's at its heart. The lifeblood of capitalism is accumulation. Accumulation for accumulation's sake. But to say that is not at all reductionist, unless your next point is to say, therefore, all we care about is accumulation. Well, capitalism doesn't just care about accumulation. It cares about its perpetuation. And for that, it needs oppression. And so, but who has an interest in taking things to the end? Okay? Because if you are nationally oppressed and you're a boss, let's say the United States oppresses Puerto Rico. Guess what? There are rich Puerto Ricans that aren't particularly strong fighters for the independence and rights of Puerto Rico. Who has an interest in any oppressed condition in society in taking the struggle as far as it can go and eliminating the system upon which that oppression depends? The working class. The working class of all sections of oppressed have an interest in taking things further. They're not constrained by their own material interests from fighting for the most thoroughgoing liberation. Whereas the black head of a corporation doesn't in a way that a black janitor does. And that's really, when you think about it, Hillary Clinton does not have an interest in ending women's oppression. She is oppressed as a woman in various ways, not in the same way as poor women, but she still faces oppression. She faces all kinds of sexist shit in society that we would defend her against, even though we don't support her as a candidate. But she does not face the same kind of oppression, and she supports a system that depends on the perpetuation of women's oppression. And so she can't fight it consistently, even if she wanted to. And so, therefore, working women have more of an interest in complete liberation of women than the Hillary Clintons of the world. So you have to talk about class and oppression together and understand their relationship, because if not, then it's just some thing floating out there.